evening. My name is Al Nardi. I'm the chairman of the Historical Commission. It's the 5th of March, 2026. This is the meeting of the Springfield Historical Commission. And I welcome you all. If you haven't signed our agenda, pick up an agenda and sign a sign sheet, please do so that you have the record. Let's start with a roll call. Commissioner Walsh. Commissioner Walsh, present. Muted.
Yeah, I know. Didn't want to unmute. I am here though.
Okay, thank you, Commissioner. Dan Esport. Here. Kevin Coffey. Present. Thank you. Melissa Zorzi is absent. Walter Kroll. Present. You and the only fault. And not, so what is it? First on the agenda, the acceptance of the minutes. The commission has had an opportunity to read those minutes. Of the 19th of February meeting. Do you have any questions, commentaries?
We have, yeah, also, this is something that we've been expecting, but Admiral Cooper direct.
Okay, if not, I'll accept the motion to accept the minutes as written. I move to accept the minutes. Second. Second by Dan. I'll start with Kevin Coffey. Yes. Dana.
Yes.
Vincent Walsh.
Yes.
Thank you. Walter Kroll.
Abstain, I was absent.
Sorry.
Abstain, I was absent.
No, Marty. Yes. Thank you. Sorry, there it is. Most of you know this, in order for our vote to be completed, we need to be a quorum of the commissioners, and we are, or at least 5 here, which is a good part of making decisions. So let's start on our evening. It's a pretty full agenda. We have some continued hearings. The first we'd like to speak about is Bowman Street single family dwelling. Come on up. You can have a seat. Please give us your residential name and address. And then I will read a review about from our staff.
Good evening, Stephen Jablonski, residential address 22 Green Lane, Springfield, Mass.
The reason for the continuance, the hearing was continued to allow the commission to conduct a site visit, to allow the petitioner to update their application. Updated materials have been submitted, but for restricted documents, the materials were sent once the access of the document was granted. Okay. The petitioner submitted updated application for a request for certificate of appropriateness. Some specifics: color lifestyle series, true divide, light dark brown, black burgundy, aluminum clad wood, double hung, double pane, 6/2 windows. Simpson door, Nantucket color, I believe it is, stained fur, traditional single pane, Nantucket style, thermal pane glass, replacement door. Hardy plank, lap siding, cedar mill, landmark certainty, 30-year architectural asphalt shingles. Is there color that you suggested then? And heat pump design for the floor. So why don't you take a minute and tell us how you've updated your application?
Thank you. Yes, looking at all of you, I think most of you are familiar. Laviana wasn't at the, this continues, but you were at the original, went back like 6 months or something. So we were happy to take a continuance because at the last meeting, there was a good deal of public input, and the majority of it is summarized by saying that the porch floor of the porch was too low. And so was the roof. And there were no vertical elements in the roof. And the facade was asymmetrical. And also there was a big bone of contention was the height of the cornice and whether how it related to adjacent properties, both on the right and the left. I don't know, to be honest with you, if it was suggested at the last meeting, but it's known to be good practice to, on these type of projects, to intersect with the appropriate community committee, and so we scheduled a meeting with the McKnight district community meeting. We attended, and this is where it gets a little dicey because Mr. Cole knows, because he was there at the meeting. That it was my intention to have our client there, but they, you know, it's a sensitive subject for them. They operate a lot of, they don't call them group homes. They refer to them as homes legally. Anything that's a 5-bedroom house in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts has to be designated as a group home. You are allowed to call it a house because going to this court decision it is. So anyway, long story short, they demurred, they didn't attend the community meeting, though I more or less encouraged them to, but I was there as their representative. We addressed the safety concerns of the neighborhood, which were, you know, emergency contacts like that. And we also opened it up again to beyond this commission to input from the neighbors. And the main thing was the window design, the height of the structure. And they had some other things that, you know, we took into consideration, but they just, you know, to give you an example, like one woman was, pretty sure she's not here, but anyway, she was asking to have the handicap ramp moved to the back of the structure. And I said, well, it goes down like 5 or 6 feet. And I said, you know, if you move the ramp to the back, you're gonna have to have not twice as big, like 3 or 4 times as big. And she couldn't, I could tell she couldn't understand. So I just said, look, you know, I'm not ignoring you, but we can't, you know. So anyway, we did not move the ramp to the back. However, what we did do, and what you're seeing the results of here are, we took the main community input, which was to raise the floor. I did state at the last meeting, and I'll state it again, that, you know, with a handicap accessible first floor plan, and with the length, you know, to be respectful to handicapped people, basically the longest run that you can go up is 30 inches. The vertical rise, you can't go more than 30 feet, then you have to have a level landing, give people a chance to rest, get their energy back. So we decided that 30 inches would be enough. We went over and we analyzed, and we're going to show you a drawing of the heights of the first floor plates at both the house on the left and the house on the right. And we're, by going up to 30 inches, we're up within 6 inches. I believe they're all 36 or 35 inches. We also, I went back to the client and I said, can we put a dormer on the front? And they said, go ahead. And we did. And then I went back and forth with Jim Boone and some other people about, you know, this small bathroom window. And they wanted it symmetrical. And I said, just, you know, just doesn't make sense putting large windows in the bathroom. So we compromised and we made 2 small windows, the same size, they're exactly symmetrical. And I said, well, it was consciously asymmetrical design before, but I said, you know, if this will, being respectful to the neighborhood input, we raised the cornice line. So I said, let's just make it all symmetrical. So this is the rendering of what it looks like from the side. But then if we could scroll through the rest of the drawings. Okay, so here's a very important, I don't know, Andrew, if you can zoom in on maybe our middle one. And then just so people can read, or yeah, I guess you can read it. So anyway, height to cornice from the ground is 23 feet 5 inches. The height, and you know, these are approximate, they're within 2-inch variance, I would say. So anyway, the house on the right, the cornice is 22 feet 0, and on the left, can you scroll over to the house on the left? Yeah, it's 23.3. So you can see, actually, we're 2 inches higher than the highest, you know, the highest of the neighbors. The height to the first floor plane on the brick house is 35 inches. Ours, as I said before, is 30 inches. And then if you scroll over to the right again, it's 35 inches. So, you know, because we didn't have this drawing last time, the neighborhood, you know, kind of, I don't know, refer to them as naysayers, because they actually are genuinely concerned about the project. They were giving their input. But the reality is an actual measured scale drawing, which we produced, shows that this fits in exactly with the neighborhood in terms of height. And it also, so I'll just go through everything and then it's, you know, Commissioner. So the next, Andrew, could you scroll to? So that just shows a section. So there's, you know, it shows the first floor and the height 30 inches above the grade. And then there's a second floor with a couple of bedrooms, an office, and there's an attic, a small attic, where there will be HVAC equipment or storage. There's going to be a basement as well because there's a walkout basement. And, you know, in this drawing, you can kind of see how the grade goes down. I mean, it's a walkout basement, so it actually goes down about 6 or 7 feet from the ground from front of the house to the back. Could you show the next one? So this just shows the bright red line on the inside of the lot line are, you know, the setbacks. I don't think this is particularly germane to the, you know, to the conversation, but since it came up and it is, because frankly, it's the reason why there's negative, or one of the largest reasons, I shouldn't say. People have a genuine architectural disagreement, but what I'm going to point out to you is that the owner of this property is called Guidewire Incorporated. And if you look on the site plan to the left of the maroon shaded in site plan, which is the residential lot, it's already designated as a residential lot. But Guidewire owns the property to the left, which is, you know, it goes off the screen, but it's their new offices on 995 Worthington Street, and they're currently rehabbing them. And they're investing, you know, over $1 million in fixing up that property. And then they want to spend more money, fix up, or to, you know, to build this, what we're proposing. Could you show one more, Andrew? Because, yeah, so this is the first floor plan. And actually, Andrew came up with this suggestion, and I thought it was a good one, because one of the things I brought up, and it was, you know, mixed reaction, but I said, and I believe it's true, that, you know, organizations come and go. If you look over a 100-year period or a 50-year period, most likely Guidewire is not going to be operating this space in 100 years. However, as you know, Historical Commission, most of the houses on Golden Street are over 100 years old. So in a 100-year life cycle, if this was no longer a service for handicapped people that need help to get through their day, it could be sold as a single family residence. There's 3 bedrooms on the first floor, 2 on the second. Now, it is a little bit odd. You know, obviously, I'm not telling you that this is what everybody's looking for a home in Springfield or anywhere wants 3 bedrooms on the first floor. However, it's a structure, it's built to fit in with the neighborhood, that's my contention. And it's a credit to the neighborhood, it's built solidly. So what we did was we pushed the whole floor plan over a little bit to the right. We still are respectful of all the required setbacks, side yard, etc. But we made a little bit bigger driveway so that if this were to turn into a residential, actual, you know, one family residential, that someone wanted to park their car in the back or build a garage, an attached garage or a detached garage in the back, they could. So, I mean, it's a slight thing, but again, it was community input, and we said, okay, we'll do it. I think this is it, or there might be one other. Yeah, this is the second floor. And so you see there's 2 bedrooms, there's a bathroom. Excuse me, and there's an office, and then it may be a little mysterious to those of you that don't deal with architectural drawings all the time. What is open below? It means that, you know, you're standing on the second floor and you look down into the dining room and the living room. And the reason for that is that they don't need, you know, 2 more bedrooms up there on the side, and they don't want them. So we just, and in order to make the roof lines working. So that's, is there another?
Either,
Oh, yeah.
these photographs are from the site visit that a few of our commissioners went
Oh,
out
okay.
and did.
Did anyone, I mean, should I, or does anyone want to comment on those or what? Oh, okay. All right, so I guess I would say that's my explanation of where we are at.
Okay, so for the record, myself and Commissioner Judy Crowe did site visit. If you go to those photographs that we sent you,
I think these were sent by Kevin.
yeah, there we go. Our concern is you see that we were showing you photographs of the stairs and the distance from the grave to the porch.
Yeah.
So, you know, we were very concerned that the original thing that
Right.
we saw was way too low.
Yeah.
But yourself was beginning to solve that problem with your new design. We were also concerned about the size of the building. But if you go to that rendering of the elevations of the 3 houses,
You mean our drawing?
your drawing.
Oh, okay, good.
That's this one here. Okay. If you see the house to the left and the proposed house have some similar volumetric. You know. Some volumetric pieces that make some sense. It does dwarf the house on the right just a little bit. At first, we were concerned whether or not, oh, and the roof was a problem as well with the original. But you solved that because you raised the roof pitch,
We made it steep.
made it steeper.
Well, when we had, yeah,
Right, yeah, and then the gable. I don't know if you thought about poking that gable piece out of the elevation a little bit, focus on it. Out of the wall below it.
well, it does, I mean, there's like a standard cornice that overhangs all, but with the pediment doesn't go.
Right, the walls, yeah, it's pretty
Go
bad. But if, and my reason for saying that, if you look at the brick house on the left, there is some in and out of the elevation. But we don't have to duplicate everything that we see. But that was our comment as well. You can see that setback. And then it looks like a couple of gutters coming back, so it looks like it's about a foot back or something like that. But it's not necessary, but I just want to keep that what we had seen.
Yeah.
When we were there, both vehicularly and as pedestrians. We did drive around the back. Because the back is viewable from the public way. As you drive up Worthington Street, you can see that. So I don't know if you have any elevations of that. Not yet.
no,
And so those were our comments. We knew that you were in the process of working your magic. So we decided, okay, let's wait and see, but maybe the photographs will be helpful, at least to talk about mostly the elevation of the porch. That was pretty big, the porch and the roof. Correct. Yeah. Okay, so that was our site visit, everyone. And
could I just ask if I went up there myself and looked online, did you go up and down the entire Bowden Street?
yes,
I just want to point out to you that there's much smaller houses than these, and they're much lower, and you know, that's part of the context too, you know, you have to walk 100 feet. And although part of my contention that I try to make to the neighbors and to you is, with all due respect, there's a lot of vacant property. There's a lot of missing teeth on Bowden Street, and this is, it'll be brand new, and we, you know, I would say it fits in with the neighborhood. That's my contention. I would not be sitting here trying to present it to you. Didn't feel that. So
my visual thing about building something new in historic neighborhood is that the surfaces are not distressed by the weather.
right.
So it tends to look new. Yeah, you know, if I had my way, I'd have it needed with some change before I paint it. Just so that it looks like it's got some patina to it. But that's something that's hard. So commissioners, any other questions, comments, please?
Yeah, well, I also made a site visit and, so the photographs that have the scales in them are mine. Being an archaeologist, scale living. And I concur that the floor plate is not as high as people were imagining floor plates were, that it really is more like 35 inches as you've measured. And I thought that, you know, you've done more to address that question, so I think that's it shows that there's an interest in communicating and dialoguing with the community. I guess the one other question though that I had to do with the very front of the building, which seems to stick, it seems to be a little bit closer to the curb than other buildings on the street, and I'm wondering if there's any way to pull it back. I don't know if you've noticed that.
No, actually, to be honest with you, I'm not aware of that, but
Well, if you've got a full, you've got
we have
a
to
tight
think,
line,
yeah.
you know, I think it shows there. If you just lay a rule across it. It's
Okay, you're right.
getting out of it, and I think it would again fit better with its neighbors to be pulled
Yeah,
back.
it looks like it's approximately maybe 5 feet out of the.
Even if it's even that, that's,
Yeah,
you know, and I know that you've got a hard grade to work with there, but I think that would be worthwhile.
yeah, we're gonna be, I guess I would say, I don't know if we have to continue again to bring another plan. I'd rather not do that, to be honest with you, but I would say, running the risk of speaking for the owner, I don't think there would be any objection to that, because we are on the construction site at 995 Florida Mental Health Association property. We are going to be doing a little bit of excavating, and there's going to be some soil, so we could adjust the grade so that would allow us to push that back.
So that could be part of it.
Yeah, okay, if you want to make that would be acceptable. Or you decide.
Thank you.
That would move.
Commissioner Walsh, anything from you?
No, I really appreciate the changes and the improvements, and I like what I'm seeing.
Okay. Anything else?
I just had a question on the railings. I agree, I think the changes are better. There's nothing on the railing themselves. Do you have anything about the
construction of the railing?
yeah, what they're gonna look like? I mean, you got heights here, but I can't really see
Yeah,
how far the spindles are gonna be, or what's the handrail gonna be like?
the handrail, it's intended to be an actual wooden handrail. And then the spindles are gonna be plain, they're not gonna be turned, right, it's gonna be square with spindles. And one of the things that we didn't include, or it's hard to tell in that rendering, to be honest with you, but. There will be a bottom rail that the spindles will, in other words, the spindles aren't gonna go right into the porch floor. And it's gonna be 30 inches high because. I'm pretty sure that that's another advantage of making the porch stop at 30 inches. Don't quote me on this, but there is a height, and I think it's approximately 30 inches where. Once you go above that, you have to have 42-inch high rails that look horrible. And so, yeah, so it would be, the intent would be to make it look like a historically appropriate. Right. What was that? Yeah, just what Commissioner Nardi has sketched.
Right, yeah, I mean, that's the other thing, like the rounded handrail on top,
Yeah,
right, the balusters are gonna
Right.
go in
Yeah.
the top and in the
Correct.
bottom.
Yeah.
So I guess the only other question is on the spindles themselves.
yeah,
I mean, we always kind of have like, you know, what most of the Victorians look like and then Home Depot.
right.
So the more it looks like Home Depot, the more this way,
Yeah, no, right.
right? So I see the spindle sticks and I go, how's that gonna,
Yeah,
so. So this is more of what the style is gonna be, we're gonna have a
Correct.
golden
yeah,
handrail.
and then I would recommend, I mean, you're the commissioner, but if you wanted to include that in your motion.
Because that would be.
As an embellishment.
And then the other question is the handrails that are gonna come down from the stairs, are those gonna match, are they
No,
gonna
they'll
be
be
wood like that, or is it gonna be wood? Is it gonna be a metal rail, or is it gonna?
No, they would be, the only thing that I'm not sure of is. Although the handicap entrance will have metal, because you're required to have, or, well, some kind of rails. A low rail and a high rail. But I think the handrails for the cable body will be very similar to what Commissioner Nardi was sketching, yeah, just, yeah.
Mr. Chair?
Dave, I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Commissioner.
Yeah, now that they're just touching on a few of the details of the of underneath is, well, whether it's framed, the lattice framed, there's a very specific style of lattice. Won't be any more expensive to do it that way, but this is just clearly just a illustration. And I would like the lattice to have the framed, as more period, make sure it just is a more period look.
I would recommend, if Commissioner Walsh agrees, that we could stipulate all of these little detailed add-ons. If the motion, or to the motion.
Absolutely.
Addition
Agreed.
to my house last year, and I went out of my way to find really nice cedar. They're prefabricated. You can find it if you look for it. And it's not the kind that, you could go through it with your hand if you want to try. So I were in agreement with adding those add-ons there, or however you want to refer to them.
Here's kind of a question.
Beautiful.
Or some what we're planning for the deck boards on the porch. They're gonna run parallel, perpendicular to the face of the building.
Most likely, they're gonna be perpendicular.
Perpendicular, and will it be tongue groove?
Most likely it will be, we could do some kind of, trim piece. So you wouldn't look right at the edge.
Do you have any concern? I mean, I know Commissioner Walsh, you've had concern about people who've used pressure treated lumber, that type of thing for the boards.
Well, that's always something that we don't approve on a porch like this. Just tongue and groove fir would be the ideal thing. I know that in some cases we've approved a different product. I can't think of what it is, but tongue and groove is good.
I'm also fine with stipulating no exposed, pressure treated anywhere. You would like to do that. It's not our intention to have, there is gonna be pressure treated framing. There will
Right.
be, but there won't be anything.
So the things that you will accept then are, a more, a traditional, railing as sketched here and included. in-
Yeah,
As he
sketched.
sketched.
All right.
And then the
Frame wood last,
frame wood
that's
lattice.
the step back from the house, and tongue was on the porch.
And finally, the tongue and groove would be perpendicular to the house.
Correct. Also, going back to Commissioner Soffy. I don't know if you'll make it, but. We're gonna agree, or if you want to stipulate the. Lining up with the adjacent properties,
Setback.
Do we need to reopen this to public?
We do have additional public comment that we didn't have, so we probably should open it.
You should have changed, so it's in the.
Just so you're aware, the correspondence from Preservation Trust came in before I received the edits, so they're not based off of this one.
So I think it's probably appropriate.
Yeah, you should still read it.
All right, so this came in before the changes that we've been talking about from the Springfield Preservation Trust. When there is a new construction proposed for lots within a local historic district, Springfield Preservation Trust wants to reiterate the importance of new construction, adding value to the neighborhood and not distracting from it by the introduction of inappropriate designs. New construction should reflect the styles of the other properties on the street. It's important that the size and the massing of the new building, which follows the symmetry, materials, windows, trim, porch depth, railing height, roof angle are all considered and are to be similar style to those around it. The two designs submitted previously not meet these requirements. As a result, they oppose the design that was submitted previous. We, however, are not architects or architectural historians, so we also recommend engaging appropriate assistance in the plan development selection process. We might suggest shopping a site like America's Best Home Plans, past McKnight new construction and so forth, and we have a license at 14. The trust applauds the good work the commission has done in approving designs and other new houses at McKnight and in meeting these needs. On this topic, does the commission have an updated timeline for approval of the new construction guidelines? I don't know if we do, but they are being worked on. Wasn't there one other? This one?
Yeah. I think that.
Okay. One of the. Well, came in. My name is John Johnson. I live at 78 Bozeman. I have seen the various revisions of the house proposal for the vacant lot. On Bozeman, 2 doors down from me. The most recent was improvement in the second floor of that window. Is a better fit in design. And the house is in the neighborhood. In the future, it would be nice to see our new neighbors grilling in the backyard, like the rest of the houses on the street. Nothing crosses houses, nothing. So let me take a moment and open up for any further public commentary. Anyone like to speak either for or not, or what you hear the changes? Yes, ma'am. Please state your name and residential address.
Sarah Murray, 79 Bowden Street. I do want to commend Mr. Jablonski on the fact that this is much improved from the initial December submission, which was way out of line for the neighborhood. I do want to comment though, just because he brought up the issue. They are not vacant lots on Bowden Street. Those are all double lots owned by property people. They are paying their taxes. No property has ever stood on that particular plot of land on Bowden Street, and all of the lots are cared for by the people that own them. And the problem with the windows when you talked about the marketability of this building in 25, 50, or 100 years. The problem with the window is, I don't know if you can reflect on this, but we don't know of any second floor bathroom with a window facing the street. It's like a privacy issue, especially in a home where all of the people may not have privacy at their top of their agenda. This is not something we generally have facing the public. So it could have been easily accomplished by putting a bathroom at either end of the building and having the window on the side of the building, not facing the street. So those are two issues about marketability in the future in case it's abandoned in 5 years.
Thank you very much. Anyone else, either for or not? You can speak. Okay, so I'll bring it back to the commission. Thank you very much for that comment. Those thoughts. So commissioners, any other questions? If not, I'm open to a proposal for. I'll leave it up to you. Go ahead. You want to make a
Okay, I make a motion that we accept the application as presented with the following items added. The handrail design to match as what sketch, the sketch that's been provided here along with the steps to match. The house be additionally set back to match the houses next door. The porch decking will be tug and groove Douglas fir perpendicular to the street. And that the lattice be framed wood lattice.
Can we suggest that they also offer a trim board along the edge?
With a trim board along the edge.
Of the block out. Anyone else?
Second.
Thank you, Commissioner. I do have a second. Further questions or comments or requests?
So I just have one.
Yes.
Black windows.
Maybe some of those blocking your proposal.
Well, in this rendering, they're like a burgundy, I guess I would say, but I don't believe is it necessary to stay the color now. I don't think there's control, but
Windows.
So the window, the window itself, the color of the windows will work.
can we say a darker range or do you, I mean, I'd say burgundy.
We got a vote on some.
Oh, okay. Why don't we say, I don't want to back that, why don't we say black?
So that will be added to the motion.
They have black. Windows black in color to the motion.
Okay, with your second. Commissioner Walsh, that okay with your second? They added black windows.
Yes, it is.
Thank you. Your commissioners, anything else? Okay, so let me take a vote on this. Motion as stated. Start with Dana. Vincent Walsh.
Yes.
Thank you. Walter Crowe.
Yes.
Kevin Coffey.
Yes.
Yes. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
You received that.
You can tell everybody, I know we talked about a lot of things. What's been approved is what we put on the paper. If something has to change or somewhere in the middle of the project, something's not available.
And just offline, I have passed on to the guy wire people that if they could have some kind of welcome when they show up. Just to kind of smooth over the transition. Thank you.
For your work. Okay. Next on our agenda, we're getting another continuing hearing, Long Hill Street. Is going to you're name and residential address.
Sierra Williams, 84 minutes, just Springfield.
Thank you very much. The reason for the hearing is continued for the purpose of allowing the petitioner to update their plans in response to comments provided. At this time, the 27th of February, no updated materials have been submitted. As far as we know,
They come in this afternoon, so you'll see, insert into the packet.
next. The application overview, the petitioner submitted an application for certificate of appropriateness for the purpose of constructing a single family dwelling. The petitioner is specifically proposing the following. Staff is unable to definitely determine the window model being proposed, there was 2 windows were mentioned. We'll talk about that. Application General Black File, file specification document 7400 series, on the gauge black. Staff was unable to ascertain the specific door being proposed, the 2 doors were mentioned. And then live full glass fiberglass and gel wing fiberglass. The stucco siding by cream color, orange carney duration, line, I think that show asphalt shingles. No colors noted at the moment. And so why don't you talk to us about the status and what you're talking about?
So we went ahead and reduced the size, the overall size of the front of the building, to 69 feet rather than the one we previously proposed. We now took, more seriously the design that, the Springfield Preservation Trust had, proposed. They gave us some samples of some houses that they wanted to, that they thought it would be a good fit. Our intention is not to make a house too stand out, because there's going to be a new house, so we want to make it as simple as possible, but also with some historic features. This is the house that they had given us as an idea, but it's just a little bit too over the top for neighborhood. So we just dialed it down, and now we are now taking the property at 325 Long Hill as the main source of inspiration for this new build. And basically the front and the overhead looks exactly as 325 Long Hill.
Did you have pictures?
Yeah. As just that's it. Yeah, you mentioned also last time that we were here that the windows that we proposed were too small, so we took the same size of these windows and now are proposing it in our new design. We're taking the same exact features that are underneath on the soffit area, exactly the same as this house is. We're gonna reproduce. The only thing we're not doing is the side porches that this house has on each side. But basically we're making the same front.
Right.
Can you go back to the rendering, please?
Can you put them side by side? I know that, sorry, that's impossible here. No.
It's Andrew. You can do it.
Thank you.
So, let me just make some observations. As you can see in the existing house on the right, there's some handrails coming down the front steps. You're gonna require a handrail by code. You have any, proposal for that?
Handrails coming down the steps.
Yeah, you see there's the handle coming down the center of the stairs.
Oh,
You're gonna need some handrail for building.
yeah, we will have handrails there for sure.
Or you're proposing to match that, we're seeing.
Yes, sir.
And I'm just observing here that the balance of the building, the porches and their side pieces help the building, balance the.
Down to earth.
Right. That the one that you designed there, because it's so tall and it doesn't have that breadth, it makes it, feel even taller. And that's why, I know the side porches may seem superfluous, but I think they really help the building. The other thing, is little, is you see the top of the porches are different heights compared to the line of the roof, and I am not an architect, so please, architect too.
I know what you're trying to say. And I think, I mean,
Please,
I think what you're trying to say is that the portico above this front porch entrance appears to be too tall compared to the rest of the house.
right,
And what it does is sort of not help bring the volume of the house down to earth,
right,
as the porches did on the other side. And if there's no reason for those windows on the second floor to be that high. Perhaps if the whole roof came down somewhat, couple of feet, a foot or two below the eave line, that would help do what I think the commissioner is looking for. My other comment is that little scrolly thing on the top that you tried to
yeah.
indicate with the windows is really too much of a tack on applique that doesn't really, it almost looks fake. And so.
You don't need it. but
I'm not even sure if you even need.
It is fake, it's virtual.
It's
Yeah.
virtual.
Well, when you,
You're right.
when you ask the application to render, it
Yeah,
makes
you
it
gotta
look a
put
little
something.
funny.
But I think you don't really need that unless you're going to put the little lights,
Right, if you're gonna have one.
you're gonna have windows in it, that makes sense, and it grounds it into the building. So the,
I mean, I like that, the sound.
Okay.
Maybe a little wide.
wide,
Why-
yeah, that would help
See if you notice the difference,
in the width.
the width is helping. Helping the lines of that little piece up top, follow them rather than stuck over the top. But the lowering of that portico roof down below the people.
Okay.
Speaking.
Yeah, I understand.
For that audience. If this eve line was down here,
It would,
it would help bring this thing, because right now, this is extremely high, this is up, and there's nothing anywhere. Like what you see here, bringing it back down to the earth. What are you trying to say, Commissioner?
yes, thank you very much. And if,
They are the same height though, but you're right,
Yeah.
it makes it look tall.
if,
And then this is actually harder to build. If it was
Yes.
lower, the roof line, you won't need all that flashing and so.
and I think it adds, I agree that this is it's a beautiful, massive building, and you are creating a beautiful, massive building, that's what that is. So looking at those proportions and lowering it a little bit, the other thing that helps is the porch. Because it interrupts the eye as it goes up. Right now you don't have that, the little second floor porch. And
Which will have the space for it.
yeah, you might think about that, just because see how it divides it up and makes it look a little less.
Yeah,
Yeah. So. I,
we're gonna have a porch. I mean, we're, as long as we get the size of the house that
Yes,
that we're
that you-
going for, we can do anything really.
well, I need also add my name on the speech.
Yeah, so we can have a porch now, just like this house has. So instead of windows, we'll have door, just
Yeah,
like so.
I think that may have actually windows and doors.
Yeah, it has two side windows
Yeah.
in one single.
So you could, that would give you extra party space if you want, right?
Not a huge party guy, but.
Okay, but it would be a different place to stay. See, the lookout.
Okay. Everything else remains the same. We want to do the gel windows that are in the list of windows that have been approved with, they'll be black though, instead of
Yeah.
not white, they'll be black with, the grids on the exterior. And then, and the door that we propose is, I sent it to you,
Yeah, we said, I think so.
What should we have this house?
no.
Yeah, it really helps it. In your vision of the windows, you'll notice on the other house, which I have to say, every time I turn the corner, I like that house.
Yes,
It's
it's very nice.
they're a little wider than your windows, and that also, a little bit of width may also help.
And these are the windows that you're proposing.
Those are the trim, I believe Commissioner
Right.
already asked what kind of trim we wanted to do around the
Right,
windows.
right.
That's the trim that we want, that's right next door, that's my house too.
So this is gonna be a single family house.
Yep, I'm gonna look there, so.
So that'll be the turnaround window.
Yes, sir.
Only thing I want to bring up to you, and you should talk to Bill Dromey or Mike Yapham, probably Mike Yapham.
already have.
Is the rear setback that you talked
Yes.
about that, and they said 16 feet was okay.
So the garage is not gonna be detached.
It's not detached.
Yes, from the main building. Because the setback, if it was attached to the main building, you'd have to be 35 feet.
Mhm.
But if it's detached, then
Okay, so is this gray area? Is
that's
this,
concrete.
that's concrete?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's it.
That's it. Yeah.
The little white windows, the little corners, and I think you have a very lovely. It's gonna look very grand, very, the house. It's. We're gonna see.
Yeah, so it's basically lowering the portable
To the
height to the roof line. Yeah.
and then
Do that.
porch. Maybe making the windows look.
I think it's all in this place, to
Element.
sit down and
Yeah.
watch the
but-
break.
yeah.
Okay.
Don't forget about that, but sitting on a porch is a cool thing.
Yeah.
And these are the doors we're proposing.
Yeah, so these doors are, the grids are outside of black. And it has a nice feature with the little rounding on the top. They have the same kind but squared. I don't know, what are your thoughts on the kind of door?
The square is really good. One more,
And yeah, rather than being
I see.
round in the top, we have square.
What kind of door would be most appropriate there?
And with all that glass on, already. Using solid door. That as you can see was outside of the glass. Yeah. So kind of, came with solid doors. Then you can push it. This one's.
So you're suggesting that. Well, very appropriate to have a solid over there instead of.
Not necessarily.
Yeah.
Okay, Commissioner Walsh, comments, questions?
No, you covered it all pretty much. A lot of details that I think are the right ones, so I have nothing else to add.
Can you see that at all?
Yeah, I can see it.
I want you to feel left out.
No, I believe me, I don't.
All right, so let's take a minute and, there's no other.
We received one public comment, another one from Rob Slate, that came in beforehand, but it looks like.
I have a question.
has a question.
Yes, please.
Yeah, I'm trying to determine, how does the setback of the front of this house compare to the setback of the houses on either side of it?
So I own the house that's to the left and I matched it exactly. Well, this is the old one. This one is the old one. Yeah, so it's 16 feet to the,
16 feet from the front step to the curb,
yes,
that's comparable to the other two.
yes, both of them.
You know, it is a very imposing house, so you can get a little distance and stuff out.
Is that they're huge.
That's pretty close.
So the steps to each house would be in line.
Yes.
Okay. Anything else, Commissioner? So let me take a minute and open this vote before they do the, let me do. Ralph Slade. Dear members of Springfield Historic Commission, I'd like to continue my objection to the basic form of the proposed house on Long Hill Street. The house is plainly too wide for the district, given its placement on the lot. I've attempted to provide a view of what the house might look like based on the design. Based on the design petition submitted, I understand that they may have submitted a different style at that point. So this came after. Before.
This came before.
Before the revision.
Yeah.
You can see the house with much larger. The house is 78% wider than the adjacent houses, which was true. 79-foot wide facade is inappropriate for this specific lot. Hope you'll ask the petitioner to come back, which he did. Thank you. Okay, so let me open it to the public. Anyone like to speak either for or not for this revised proposal? Yes, sir, please give us your name and residential address first.
Yeah, James Sedlak, 24 Spruceland Ave, Springfield, Mass.
Thank you.
I think everything that's been presented, it's not giving a clear picture of what it's gonna look like for the neighborhood. That like this rendering here, it's not close to the proportion of the lot to how it's gonna sit. In conjunction with the houses next to it. I don't feel as if the overall design of it fits the neighborhood. There's really nothing that looks like that. I don't think it looks a lot like the Inspiration House. I just would like to see more of what impact it's gonna have on the neighborhood.
So what you're talking about is a comparison of the homes on either side.
Yeah, just like
we saw in the previous.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
I think that one gave great detail about what this, and I don't think anything we've seen shows what it's gonna do for the neighborhood.
Thank you. Is there anyone else either for or against? Yes.
Denise Mosio, 14 Cherryville Ave. I'm gonna be right behind the house. So is this still a 10,000 square foot house? How big?
It's so I have the numbers here. So the footprint of the house is 4,300 and the living space is 7,400.
70,000.
It's still bigger than everything around us, and I'm gonna be looking right at the back of it. And how close is that going to my fence, the back of the house, the driveway, all, like, I can't see by that picture how close this is gonna be to my picnic table, my fence.
So that where it says 16 feet, what is that square? what
So
is
that's the garage. The main building will be 46 feet from her fence.
So I think what the answer is that you're 16 feet from your property line to a garage that's in the back. That's what that white piece was.
So there's really no buffer there at all, which has been open for 50 years. And this is the first time that anyone split the lot and tried to build. And it's open now, trees, park light, and now I'm gonna look directly at a wall, which is going to affect my property value. It's going to hurt us if we have to sell.
It's gonna increase the value.
I
Mr.
don't
Chair,
all. I don't believe that at all, and the way that this looks to me, I feel like this is getting tied in with the illegal Airbnb and the.
Mr. Chair, please.
Yes,
Okay.
that's my feeling.
Commissioner Walsh?
Just want you to remind anybody who is speaking for or against to limit their comments to the
Yes.
either for or against the proposal they're looking at. Setbacks and things like that are not the purview of the Springfield Historic Commission. They have to go by the legal city statute for all that stuff. That has nothing to do with us.
Okay, thank you, Commissioner. Anyone else? Yes, sir, name and residential.
Almost, yeah, 14 Cherville Avenue. So the square footage of the house is 4,000 square feet.
The footprint that was just.
That's the footprint of the house. And the side of it there, the next white piece that's heading toward the garage, that is gonna be. What is that gonna be?
Which piece?
Between the house and the garage.
I'm sorry, I should have spoke sooner, I apologize. I should have spoke sooner, this is not, the time to ask questions of the applicant. This is whether you're for or against the house, the commissioner, the members should be have be asking the questions. It looks like they already did, and now they're just asking for if you're for or against the property or the new construction.
I think I'm hearing against, correct? Against, yes. Thank you. Anyone else? Yes,
Melissa Sedmak, 24 Spruceland Avenue. I'm opposed to the design as it is. I think that one of the, we go up to the front view of it. One of my concerns is that the pictures that I've shown do not seem to be in proportion. Like the height of the front door is half the height of the front first windows. So even here, it seems to me like this is something that's like made with AI instead of like a real design. And it's hard to get an idea for what the impact of the neighborhood will be when the design that's presented doesn't seem realistic. And also this is a neighborhood that I think prides itself on the fact that all the houses have porches and people use the porches. And right now, this design as it is a closed feeling. It doesn't feel like it fits with the character of the neighborhood. And I think that like we need to remember that when we're building a house in a historic neighborhood, it's not just plugging in pre-approved doors and windows and then being like, look, here, these are all pre-approved. It's the overall design.
okay, so I think I heard you say you were opposed. Anyone else? Okay, I'll bring it back. So, commissioners, thoughts, questions? I do have, my concern is not being able to see the fine method composition of this as it relates to the houses on either side. It would be very helpful as you noticed, yes.
Something I just noticed. Andrew, can you put the block view again? There. So you'll see in the front, there's a dimension line of 16 feet. And then there's a dimension line of 16 feet in the back, they're not the same. So something's not to scale here. And I think that is, I think that is part of the problem in evaluating this.
Okay. Well, good, very, very good observation. Yes.
I think it would help us a great deal. That, first of all, that you were very receptive to our suggestions is uplifting to me at least. And I was hoping that perhaps you could put in and be sure that the scale was correct. Because it is right, the 16 feet in the front and the 16 feet in the back are not the same.
Yeah.
So it's off, and it makes it hard for us to judge what it's going to impact with. And then
You're right, that'd be a number.
Yeah. And the two designs, you know, the two houses on the side with this new design in between. The scale would be powerful in helping you to make a decision.
Yeah, it'll be a bigger house for sure. From the other two houses, but not massively bigger.
Well, that could be shown in scale drawing.
Yeah, and it would be helpful as we saw in the previous application.
How
Where they draw the scale, they had pictures of always next door with the measurements. A lot easier to see it, plus then you can verify that the numbers make sense. Right, and then update. There's the colors of things, the porches of things, and then it'll be a lot easier for everyone to see what it's gonna look. Obviously, it's a big change in the neighborhood. It'll be a big house in the neighborhood. And I know the neighborhood wants to get it right, I'm sure you will get it right.
Yeah.
So I guess what I'm hearing, staff, is that we continue.
Yes.
Okay, time.
So, this is set to expire on March 13th, so you would just need to ask for an extension through the commission here and then.
Sure.
Yeah, and March 19th is what you're aiming for? Okay, so,
You need to vote on more.
yeah, I would just, how fast can you turn around the plans, because, you know, it does get a little bit difficult when I'm receiving the plans on the same day, just like as well as other applications.
You want to be beforehand?
Yeah, so if you don't think you can, get them to me by, you know, the 12th, then I would probably recommend pushing it out till April.
Yeah, we want to start to build this April. So we'll get into you next week, early next week.
I think they did a good job providing you with what you need, so if you're able to get a jump start on that tomorrow.
Yeah.
Mr. Chair.
Being asked to continue to the next meeting. Yes, Vincent.
Thank you. I just want to, well, just make sure that all the renderings and all the dimensions, now that was pointed out about the difference in if I look at that plan there, most of the numbers don't seem to equate. So there's a lot of other numbers in there, but the most exact rendering you can get to the correct scale so that we have a reasonable expectation of that's what the house is going to look like. Because if we don't have that, then there's no way to approve it until we have something that we can look at and the numbers fit and they're accurately drawn and accurately illustrated. So keep that in mind when you bring this back, please.
Thank you, Commissioner. All right, so we have a request to continue to the 19th, was it? Yeah, put that back against the agenda. Have a motion to accept that.
Second.
Yes, so moved. You can say.
All right. All right, Walter Crowe,
Yes.
Vincent Walsh,
Yes.
David Nestor,
Yes.
Minority is yes, and David Coffey, yes. So, you know, all right, we're gonna continue on. We have some new public hearings. The first is 175 Mill Street, solar power panels. And you come on down. please give us your residential name, your name, your residential address, please, welcome.
My name is Craig Warren. I live at 73 Walnut Street in Oxford, but I'm here representing 5 Street in Springfield.
The application overview, petitioner submitted an application for certificate of appropriateness for the purpose of installing 19 solar power panels onto the south roof of the accessory building. The utility equipment being placed on the west side of the accessory structure and the northern side of the primary building, located towards the rear of the property. The conduit will be placed on the west side of the accessory building and is currently planned to remain unpainted silver piping. Panels located on the southern roof of the accessory building will be visible from the public way. So why don't you go ahead and tell us about your request to be proposed?
Pretty much exactly what you just said, but as far as visibility from the public way, that picture, somebody took that picture from exactly the right spot. Because there's very little from that commercial building, because it's only going on, it's not going on the original, nothing's going on the original building. As you can see on the plan.
It's on the back house.
Both pieces
Both
right
roads.
there, the other, both levels.
Yeah.
And from. I mean, it is visible from there, but from up there, it's very minor. And that is a building that was falling down and they totally renovated it, it's now apartments.
Actually, I renovated that though.
Oh, okay, so then you know better than anybody. Cause I pulled up original photos of it and I saw the condition that it was in, it was I researched it to see if it was actually part of the historical original building, which it is.
Yeah.
So
But I needed to be prepared to be in front of you folks, so.
this, it's on these two buildings
Yes.
right here on
Yeah.
this roof, on this side.
Yeah.
And what was the reason for choosing not to paint the conduit?
Because the problem with painting the conduit is the fact that you're gonna have to repaint the conduit every year.
Every year.
Going, look at the winter we just went through. And that may not be exactly true. But it's gonna look terrible.
Where's the
Now,
conduit?
there's very little exposed conduit on this building.
There's none exposed on the roof.
Right.
And where would it, could you show us where it would be coming down? Just looking for where,
It would be coming down at the backside.
on the back side,
Yes,
that you cannot see,
that's right, exactly.
okay,
So
The equipment is here.
in the back side, can you?
technically it's in the front, that's the back.
Okay.
So it's in the
The
front, when you
non-
come in,
the
the
non-
driveway side.
Right, the
Right,
driveway
so
side.
not the inside.
Right, the driveway side that's
Yep.
not viewable.
Yeah,
from anywhere.
you know, right in front doors,
Right.
from the driveway.
Use the little green specks right in between the two buildings.
Yeah, none of that'll be visible from the public way, because
Can't see.
Pine Street wraps around, Mill Street wraps around, you can't.
And our equipment itself is a very dark bronze, both the rails and our panels, so that should blend into the roof.
Yeah.
And you've all seen, I mean, the solar panels right around the corner of the street, because I've researched that too, but that was just out of the store. But it is, it's very dark and should blend.
Commissioner Walsh, questions?
Nope. All set.
Anyone else, commissioners? Questions, clarifications?
I have a question.
Please.
So on the engineering, panel layout, PV2. It's calling out a 5-foot overhead mast, what is that?
It's to connect the electricity from the old existing house to the main house.
So that's a piece of conduit that's running across between the two buildings?
Yes.
And it's 5 feet above the grade?
Yes, 5 feet above the roof line.
5 feet above which roof line?
The old, the house that was renovated,
Yeah,
where we're putting the panels. Again, not viewable from anywhere but the back driveway. You can't just run a raw wire and we're not gonna dig with the sidewalk, the driveway.
getting one of them in round. So we're putting a mast up there and then connecting it to that corner of the house.
So it's
Part
five,
of that is also other sources requirements on how I can bring electricity from them.
And what's the rationale for not trenching that?
Digging up there. Right.
Right,
Just for ease. For ease for the client and cost.
uh-huh,
I mean, if that's a deciding factor, we'll dig up his driveway, I'll just break the news to him.
so this piece of conduit is not visible from either highway, either.
No. It's tucked right into, it's basically at the front.
You show the.
Here's a back picture.
Right.
You have it from the other side.
The cascade from the front building to the rear building is gonna be on the driveway side, right there.
Yes.
It's gonna go from the rear corner.
It's from right here to right there.
So
Because on the old home, the panels are on the right on the drive, there's electrical meters. on the
yeah, and there's
side.
the connection for that, there's actually a pit out in the grass.
Yeah.
That's where the connection is. Actually, you can see the nail right there.
Right, it's a golf house, they pulled the meters out.
Yeah.
Out of the
So
basement.
the connection in the back, as you wrap around, if you keep coming this way and you wrap around, you're never gonna see any of that back there.
I mean, this is. I know that's small, but that shows exactly where.
That's where it would connect, right, between those two.
yeah. All right,
Appreciate that, consistent.
Huge.
So if you have something, flash or whatever, you know, conduit on, will look like this. Right, sticking between two people's houses.
And the reason is that it just. If they were gonna sell it or whatever they do with it, it's gonna be a piece of pipe right there. But this makes it an integral into. The buildings.
Considering I'm a carpenter, I have a carpenter, so we have no problem.
Awesome.
Vines on it. Yep. Put some vines on it. And then it looks like a delightful architecture.
Trying to bring back down. Okay.
Covering it with some kind of decorative conduit, with some kind of decorative lattices, I have no problem agreeing to that. Just right with it.
Right. Commissioner Walsh, questions?
No questions.
Thank you. Okay, so this is a public hearing. I'll take a minute to open it to the public. Anyone here would like to speak either for or not? Proposal that's on the table. There's no one to bring it back to the commission. Commissioners, I'm open to motion or further discussion.
Make a motion, we set the application for solar 175 Mill Street with the attic stipulation of lattice over the connecting conduit the pipe between buildings.
We have no control of that.
Suggestion.
I've been in front of this board before, it's been a while, but I would have no problem.
Okay, I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second.
Little late on that.
Oh, well.
Away. There's two, thank you. Further questions? Discussion? Okay, I'll take a vote. Marty is yes, Walter Kroll.
Yes.
Dan and Esper,
Yes.
Kevin Coffey,
yes,
and Vincent Walsh.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for your time.
I wanna see that.
Absolutely. I sent them a picture.
We have one final public hearing. So tonight, 30 Colony Road windows.
I'm sorry, what was the other one?
He's in between, we have 169 Westminster.
Oh, there's two, 169 Westman, and we need to make it.
No, that's not good.
Give us your name and residential address for the record, please.
My name is Thomas Marshall, and I am representing Tatiana Myrick at 169 Westminster Street, Springfield.
All right. So let me read the overview. The petitioner submitted an application for a certificate of appropriateness for the purpose of replacing 3 wood windows with an Ultimate 800 double series, double hung 2 light slider picture. White vinyl double pane windows containing no bricks. Okay, so why don't you tell us what there and why you're replacing it?
Well, actually, I noticed that they had put 3 wooden windows on there. It's actually not 3 wooden windows. One of them is already a replacement window. The second window, I believe would be the 2 light slider. There's a window that has been replaced. It's definitely not part of the original home, just based off the pictures that I saw. But the third window, which I believe is gonna be the picture window, is the one that's wooden. So it has, I believe if you go, yep, that one right there.
So they're replacing that window with a picture window,
Right.
no bricks.
No words.
And the other 2 windows, the green, those.
That one on top there. Yeah, I believe that was the one I saw in my picture. I could be wrong. There's a lot of windows in this one. If they submitted all the pictures that we had, there should be. I believe it's that top window there. You got, I believe you can see the vinyl window. Yes.
The very top.
Yeah. No, so full bathroom or kitchen in the kitchen, so I can imagine kitchen's on the 3rd floor. So I believe it was in that full bathroom, and then there was 2 in the kitchen, one being that one we looked at that had the etched glass on the right with the solid pane on the left, and yeah, let's go back to which was the other ones. So that's the pantry, and then there was a kitchen window. It's a twin casement right now. I don't see a picture of it. But I don't know how I can send you this picture that I have. I do have a picture of it.
Can I see it from street view?
I'm not sure. I believe it's gonna be in the back more.
Well, you
So it might be difficult to see.
You can send it to my email and I'll go draw.
Yeah, definitely. Let me just refresh, make sure I'm, not yeah, so it looks like a twin casement that's been taken care of maybe during a kitchen remodel at one point. It's like a shelf window you buy.
It's on the
construction style window.
It's on the back wall.
Looking at it, well, looking out the window, I'm looking at a gazebo in wood, so I would imagine so. So there's the pantry window there, I believe, so I would imagine it's opposite in the back, yeah. Well, yeah, I could definitely send you the picture that I have here.
Yeah, you can send me is that on the inside or the house?
I have one from the inside. Yeah, I didn't have the best from the outside. I'm not sure why he didn't walk back there. But I do not have one of the outside, but I can get you one.
I mean, if it's on the back of the house, there's a lot of tree coverage, you won't be able to see it from. What road is this one? Lucky Hills. So yeah, you can't see it.
And I'm very confused. So in this collection of photographs, the only one that actually applies what's being replaced is the one that says pantry on it. So the other pictures.
And is that in the back of the house?
No, the one on the 2nd floor, I believe, was the full bathroom. The one from the ground.
I can't see the inside of the house. Is this,
Yeah, I believe
so
that.
this window?
Yes.
Yeah.
So the 3rd one was in the back.
The third one is.
I mean, I have interior pictures of the bathroom, so it looks like I gotta submit some more pictures.
No, I was just saying, I can't,
Yeah,
I don't know whether there's a bathroom behind there or an elephant. It doesn't matter. I'm asking about what's on what I can see here. It's not marked.
So it's this picture window here, and then the other window is it that one?
That picture.
I believe so. I mean, that, my Measure Tech would not have taken a picture of it. I don't believe it's on the 1st floor. I believe it's on the 2nd floor, and it's a replacement only because when I'm looking out of it, I can see, down. So it looks like it's in a corner. So maybe.
I think it's this window because you can see the.
Yeah.
Right, you can see the break right here.
Yeah.
So.
So that becomes a double, is replaced with another double, huh?
Yeah. Basically, replacing and replacing.
And the pantry window with the three little diamond glasses, that one.
Yeah. Yeah, unfortunately, the other side looks like it's been replaced, otherwise it's been side by side with having two, you know.
Yeah, they've already lost the one side.
Yeah. Definitely something that'll be saved.
So say, I mean, when the deepest, if it's.
Yeah, oh, definitely.
Windows.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Well, when I took a look at it, that was my first thought, after you were there on site, sure. Get it in good condition too. I've got some pretty interesting things throughout the time.
Hey, Commissioner Walsh, you still with us?
Yep.
You got mute. Questions? He's muted. You got on mute. We can't hear you. There we go.
I can barely hear you guys either, by the way. It seems like people are getting quieter now. It seems like there's more vinyl replacement windows in that house. It seemed like there's a bunch of them, unless the photos just look that way.
But you're only putting in these three windows and no two, only this one and the other are visible from the street. Is that correct?
Yeah. That would, yes.
Okay. And this will be a slider and the other one will be a double hung and look like the rest of the.
Yes. No, actually, so I'm not 100% certain. I could get up right here, which, whether that pantry was going to be a, slider or. So that would be kitchen. So the kitchen, that one, yeah, so that pantry is gonna get a.
It's just.
Yeah, the slider's gonna go above the sink where the twin casement was.
When you say picture window, I see two windows.
Yeah, we're gonna open it up and make one.
So you're taking out the wood mountain in the middle, and there's gonna be one big picture window.
Correct.
Okay. Now I understand what you're proposing.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, if there's no other question from the commission, this is a public hearing, I'll just.
Yeah, I have a question. Have we determined the exact three windows? That's a little harder for me to follow out here.
Yes, I think we have.
So we know what the three windows are and what it's going to be replaced with.
Well, we can show you on the screen.
So this window.
Yeah.
Is gonna remain a double hung window, right?
Correct.
Yep.
The pantry window back
There's
here.
going to be a picture window. Yeah, I got that one. What's the third one?
The third one is on the rear of the building that doesn't look like it can be seen from Buckingham Street, which is the street.
Okay. All right. Thank you. I was wondering where that third window was. Okay. I'm good.
Okay, thank you. We'll take a minute, open this up to the public. Is there anyone here who would like to speak either for or not this proposal? Okay, there's no one. Bring it back to the commission. I would just like to make a comment. I just have a serious problem with taking that pantry window and chopping that post out and making it one big plain piece of glass when it's one of the only delicate left things on this building. But that's my opinion. But other commissioners, questions, comments? If not, I'm open to proposal or open to a motion.
Is there an option to leave the divider in?
What I could do is propose to make two picture windows all together in the middle. You know, a problem with that, it's gonna be quite
Really
large.
thick.
You know, it's almost better off doing a 2 light slider because you have a center hole. But again, I would, have to go back to them.
I don't suppose you could put in that, matching the big glass on the other side.
No, I believe the best we can get is diamonds.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's he knows.
Okay, I make a motion, we accept the application on 169 West Nature Street. The replacement of those as outlined in the application.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
Any further discussion? Okay, I'll take the vote, all take roll.
Yes.
Yes. Jensen Walsh,
Yes.
Dan Escobar,
Yes.
Kevin Walsh. Kevin Walsh. I'm sorry. Mr. Coffee, Kevin Walsh, how you doing? Derek Coffee. Yeah, I'm losing. Somebody's shooting now. I can hear you.
He needs a little coffee.
Yes, yes, and Al Marty is next.
Kevin Walsh over there, Kevin, come on, vote, let's go.
Okay, so there is 4 votes, yes. Kevin Walsh.
Thank you.
If you heard say before, if any changes, can't get the window, if something changes, just come back.
Absolutely.
Great.
All right, thank
Oh, boy. Okay, we're down to 30 Colony Road. You'll join us, give us your residential name and address for the.
My name is Tim Ash, I'm a sales rep with Keller Windows and Doors, and I represent the town dentist at 30 Colony Road.
So let me read the overview. Petitioner submitted an application for certificate of appropriateness for the purpose of replacing 3 wooden windows of Color Lifestyle Series direct set fixed frame wood windows with linen white aluminum cladding. The exterior grids and grills and grid pattern 2/4 and 4/5/4 will remain the same. Okay, staff, you have some photos for us, and perhaps you can post those.
Yes. So I have a couple renderings here too. This is our Lifestyle Series product. So the interior of the home is still gonna stay wood. All the window that's exposed on the exterior is just clad in aluminum. So Pella's gone this route a few years back with our Reserve Series and our Lifestyle Series windows, just to make everything in New England a lot more durable, standing up to the test of time, etc. So these windows here, we're not looking to change the color, we're not looking to change the grill pattern. We're looking to do an exact replica like for like. It's gonna be a pocket style installation too, which is gonna leave all the exterior and interior trim in place. So it's not gonna be that invasive either.
Pictures of the house as it is now.
Yeah, so here. Right here, this is an existing photo, the one, oh, I thought it. This one? Yes, so that's it exactly, yeah, it's on the side.
Are the other windows clad?
The other windows, he's had some replacements over the years, but there's still some older windows in the house that on the exterior are still just from the age of the window, they're wood. The house is pretty big, they're here, a lot of the rooms they don't utilize a lot. This room specifically, they miss utilizing, the room's just really cold, just as far as the glass, just a lot of energy's coming in and out, so they'd really like, to do something to be able to have the room livable again. And as far as doing the pocket replacement too, it wouldn't be taking out all the exterior wood, none of the interior trims being touched either, so it's nice, it's a nice installation. And it's not that invasive and it won't change the aesthetic look, the home.
You have a rendering from the outside. You hang it to. We go down on the screen.
Yeah.
Could you pull back from that other view so we, yeah. Thank you. It's hard to see how it looks in.
It was actually, my apologies, it was poplar white, was the color up to after the exterior of the chip.
Is that matches what?
Yes, yeah. And then the interior was our bright white too. So like I said, the grill width too, still gonna be 7/8 wide. We're looking to do kind of an exact replica install.
Exterior grids.
Yes, so this will be a true simulated divided light where it'll have the exterior grid and also on the interior, we'll have the wood grids too on the interior of the home.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Having you in the question.
Yeah, they don't match up, so I'm wondering which one is the anomaly?
The new one seems to have a bigger pane, right?
Well, the one on the top has four lights across in the center, the one on the bottom has 5 lights across. The
Yeah,
center.
oh, yeah, yeah.
And the original has 5 lights across the center.
I apologize for that too. So here, this is actually a sketch of the window we have for the dimensions. So it is going to be 5 wide.
So
My apologies for
the
the
exterior number of lights will match. the top.
exactly. It's going to be 5 wide, 4 high. And then the 2 windows on the sides will be the 2 wide, 4 high. See, I had, so my apologies, you can see here, so this would be. I'm sorry for not noticing that there in that little pane.
That's why we have the K9.
Yeah, right.
Kevin Walsh got that one. Catch Kevin Walsh. Walsh, you're the best.
Absolutely.
So even the proposed specs and stuff was, it's the 5 wide, that's just.
Any other commissioner questions before I open up to the public? Okay, so is there anyone in the public to speak either for or not this proposal? Yes, sir.
Looks beautiful.
Can you give us your residential name? and
Thank you.
Yeah, my name's James Police and I'm from West Springfield, Mass, about 950 Prospect Avenue.
Thank you very much. So you are in favor.
Yes, I am.
Anyone else? Thank you very much. We'll bring it back to the commission. So commissioners, questions or further discussion before
No, sir. Not from here.
motion?
Move to approve.
Second,
Okay,
to accept the applicant.
that one came from that.
So the interior rendering had 5, it's the exterior.
You know, you're testing it. Yeah.
See if we can.
We're just testing our.
Want to see if we're, on spot.
Yeah, that's what it is. All right, so let me take a vote, please. Vincent Walsh,
Yes.
Dan Nestor,
Yes.
Kevin Coffey,
Yes.
Walter Crowe.
Yes.
Yes.
Awesome, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. Okay, that ends our new public hearing, correct? And we're going to continue down on our agenda. Next is a preservation of historically significant building, 135 Lyman Street. And we get that, come on, and talk to us. Please state your name and residential address for the record.
Timothy Ryan, 72 Morningside Park, Springfield.
Jeff Police, 950 Prospect Avenue.
Jeff Casey, 13 Carriage Lane, Westfield.
Thank you. Application over, the petitioner submitted a presentation of historically significant building application for the purpose of demolishing a 6-story brick building. I think we had one plan of it.
Street beautiful, sent over to Jeff.
So why don't I just read this and this is regarding, this is from Springfield Preservation Trust regarding the opposition of the demo delay with Chapman and Brooks block. Springfield Preservation Trust is adamantly opposed to the demolition of the architecturally and historically significant building, Chapman and Brooks Block, 135 Lyman Street. The waiver request, the 9-month demolition delay must be rejected. The historic building is not just crucial to the character of Springfield, it is an urgent need of preservation. The Chapman and Brooks building, built in 1910 and designed by William B. Reed in the classical revival style, is on the SPT most endangered historic resource list. The rapidly expanding hardware business enabled Chapman to build the 6-story steel, concrete, and brick block. Demolition delay ordinance has saved buildings such as the National Needle, Willis, Overland, and Underwood. It has allowed new owners to find alternative uses that were better than demolition. Adaptive reuse is a tool that is saved in these numerous buildings, and the trust hopes this option may be considered first. Demolition is wasteful and short-sighted. Reuse is creative. This building must be demolished. The trust hopes that at least some of the architectural details be incorporated into the next building design. So please, why don't you give us your review of the building?
So I'm just gonna start in on the whole question of kind of the adaptive reuse. And I did a little bit of, and you have here, I believe, the report from Johnson Structural Engineering. And all of the photos, you know, the old adage of photos worth 1,000 words. And there's many pages of photos showing the current condition. But on the whole issue of adaptive reuse, the city of Springfield took the property for non-payment of taxes in 1974. They held on to the property until 1985 when they sold it for $18,900. The property kind of pittered and pattered around through foreclosures, assignments, $500, $1, etc. The city retook it again in 2009 for non-payment of taxes, and it's held it for 16 years. And I have no reason to believe that the city didn't do its best efforts to get somebody in there to reuse this building. And the fact that Jeb Belize has come along now is not to reuse the building, it's to reuse the real estate. But the building itself, it's been 50 years of demonstrated failure in terms of use, occupation, making it an economically viable entity. And with all due respect to the Preservation Trust, because I think they do great work, this is not one of the ones that you can adaptively use. 50 years of failure. And but Jeff.
So in order to ensure that we were evaluating all potential options for reuse, we brought in Johnson Structural Engineering to do a full comprehensive structural evaluation of the building. And the purpose of that evaluation was to determine whether it could be reasonably renovated or reused. And what they found was that there were significant deficiencies in the structure, and it's considered beyond its serviceable life, and it's not salvageable. There's primary issue with, Andrew, I don't know if you can go to Google or satellite view. You can see almost half of the roof is entirely gone. So it's just had constant water infiltration throughout the building. That's affected the steel structure, the concrete flooring, decking is all starting to crumble and fall apart. And it's gotten to the point of corrosion where metal studs, ductwork, everything has corroded to the point where they've just collapsed. There's actually 2 sets of staircases in the building that collapsed as well from all corrosion. But yeah, so that gray area you see there is just exposed concrete. There's no roof membrane at all or anything on there right now. And then right near the red indicator, there's actually a tree growing out of the roof that's probably almost 20 feet tall.
Let's see.
So you have hydroponics on the roof.
Yeah, all the arborists.
Yeah.
Significant tree.
What is the, can you explain the white mold?
It's more than likely, I would imagine, from the water infiltration. There's also on the upper. The sixth floor under the roof, almost all of the. Actually, Andrew, if you can go back one more photo. To the right there, you can see the black. The entire roof deck there, and then as you move more into the middle of the building, is all black. I'm assuming is mold, black mold. I'm not entirely positive. But because of the amount of water filtration that's coming through that roof deck. And that white mold is on the sixth floor. It's also worked down to the fifth floor. And as evidenced in Johnson's structural report, there was ice on every floor, so the water just working its way down throughout the building.
It's pretty evident that this building has taken a beating through all these years. Is there, do we see the outside of the building because there was some comment about some potential details that should be considered? Steps in the chorus.
So, the plans for reuse are?
So we're not exactly sure. We have made a bid for the courthouse, and that's on a joint block directly across the street. So that will impact the potential long-term use of this property. But in terms of the brick and the structures on the WF Young building, which is in the process now of coming down, we did a really good job of taking all the and I won't get the names right, but the cornices of the different pieces inside and outside the building for reuse. We're also reclaiming brick on the WF Young. Looking at this building without having the end game secured, we're looking at doing the same thing as taking the brick and any artifacts, and our architect David Manfredi personally oversaw what we did at WF Young. We're going to use him for this.
Yes. So your intention is not to, is just to clear out, you want to clear the lot.
Oh, we want to clear the lot, but so in working with the development office and Tim Sheehan, in purchasing this, the city has to approve the end use. So we're really looking for viable options that are good for the city. For example, you know, the city understands we need some surface parking. We've also acquired other properties in the area, so we're looking at this very holistically: housing, retail, commercial business, mixed use, what we can do to better the neighborhood.
Yeah, because just I know you hired a structural engineer. Did you hire an industrial hygienist who did the analysis of the mold, or is that just the structural engineer's estimation?
That's the structural engineer's estimation. OTO is going through the building now, evaluating all the hazardous material, asbestos, mold.
Because the structure itself, the brick, from this view looks pretty sound. I mean, I understand all the problems with the interior of the building. It's a mess, but the frame of the building is in pretty good shape. It looks to me. And I was just wondering what.
Maybe you go back to the pictures, Jeff.
Yeah.
There's structural problems.
Yeah, the columns and the steel columns themselves and all the concrete deck. In Johnson's report, they note that there's been so much corrosion to the steel itself, there's not even enough structure there to reuse those pieces. So it's not a simple fact of, you know, you have one beam where you could maybe replace the beam or reinforce it. It's continuous throughout the building and every floor.
So it's a steel frame building that's brick clad?
Yep, steel frame building, concrete deck, and it's brick clad.
And then the steel is encased by.
By concrete.
Yeah.
You're asking for an exemption of the 9-month waiting period. What impact does that have on?
Significant. So if we're given the waiver, we get to take down the building and use it for staging for the construction project, and that's a really big deal because it means not having to travel to other places. So We're very hopeful that we get to use that land and other land we've acquired for the construction. And right now, again, I know it's about this building, but that project is totally barricaded from the streets. And we're in the process of demolition. And again, we'll know on the bid, they're telling us anyway, midsummer, mid-year.
Commissioner Walsh, questions?
No questions.
And, what would be done with the building, all that brick and the cornices?
All I can promise you is this is for real. We're palletizing it, so we'll take the salvageable brick, palletize it, keep it to the side. We have a lot of property to develop, so whether it ends up being used as a facade on a particular structure, we're not sure exactly, but we'll make sure that we honor the building, as we are with WFM.
We don't, this is not a public hearing, this is just a vote.
Yeah, I mean, I always thought we should approach demo delays similarly, just because, they are sensitive issues, and we did receive a public comment from the trust already, so.
And may I address?
Please.
Yeah. Public hearing is not required, but it's not unreasonable to submit if somebody puts something in, but it's not required. I just want to make sure we know that. It's correct, right, Andrew? You're choosing to add this commentary.
I guess so. I guess I would need to drill down into whether demo delay is considered a public hearing. I don't know if Attorney Shuchuk.
Shuchuk's on, so we could ask Attorney Shuchuk.
Well, let's find out. Robert?
Can you guys repeat the question? I'm sorry.
If the essence of the question is, are demo delays public hearings or not?
I don't want to just give you an answer right off the cuff. I would have to look into that. So I apologize.
I mean,
if any has any experience with it, he can probably go.
Well, the question is more of if are required. This whole thing's a public hearing, but are we required to take public commentary? And I don't believe we are.
But if we do, is that a problem? I think it's
No, I just don't want to. I don't want to. I mean, we should obviously, Attorney Shuchuk, if you could just at some point straighten that out. So, I have no problem with entering public commentary, but if I just don't want it to be a.
What's the actual?
So.
Have to warn it like a regular hearing, which leads me to believe that it's of a hearing nature. But I mean, it's up to the commission's discretion.
I mean, to be safe, you just read it into the record.
Yeah,
But I think we should look into it because I don't believe the whole meeting is a public hearing. So there's no, it's whether they have a right to speak for or against is all we're asking. And since you have one, you just have one. Then let's enter it until we find out what we can do or not do.
So I guess what I'm asking Robert is your opinion that if we open up for public comment, we cause a problem with our vote? And if it's not required, then it's not required.
Yeah, again, I'd want to research this and give you guys a set, solid answer. That's not just not off the cuff. So like, I would say just enter, read this. If there's only one comment, read this one in there. And if and moving forward, if it turns out whatever I find, I'll let you guys know.
And we did already read trust's letter, so, you know, in fairness to those that are in the room, I would probably, you know.
Road comments, I think we should look it up. I think we should make it possible.
Just speak a little louder, please.
What we were saying is we've already read the opposition letter, so we should at least open it up.
Yeah, do whatever you want.
Okay.
Okay with me.
Appreciate that. So, okay, so I'm gonna open it up to the public for any commentaries anyone would like to speak, either in for or not for this proposal that we're speaking.
For or against.
Let's please give us your name, residential address first.
Sarah Murray, 79 Bowden Street, Springfield, Mass. I'm understanding what is before the commission is to disregard the enacted demolition delay ordinance. I think the delay ordinance should continue. I think the entire 90 days should be utilized. I think there are far too many businesses and people that are trying to buy up property and demolish it in Springfield with the hope that that property will be part of the new courthouse. But if it's not, then we will have a lot of vacant building properties with the buildings already demolished. And therefore, the downtown and the whole area of downtown Springfield will just be flat land. And I think that it should be continued until a decision is made by the city.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else? Yes.
Kira, Springfield Preservation Trust, 74 Walnut Street. I oppose the lift the demo delay because again, this property is on our most major historic resource list. I do understand the pictures in front of me, but respectfully, we want to preserve Springfield's historic character. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Okay, we'll bring it back to the commission. So this is a request to let the 9 month look at I correct. So I'm open to motions from commissioners unless you have other questions.
Can I make a comment?
Sure.
I think I'm troubled that, it's obvious that the building is structurally unsound at this point, and that's a tragedy. But the exterior brick and the columns and its presence on that area is a part of the historic nature of our city. To see it taken down, will be for a place to store materials for construction. It breaks my heart because it's basically being erased to be a holding area. So I am troubled by that. This is not our decision. If in 9 months this goes forward, it will go forward with a fee to another. But I think I find, and I understand and voted and supported the movement that you made before, because I really hope that what you're able to do there, that you are successful. But this is deeply saddening too. There's nothing to be saved here. There's no attempt to save anything in this one. It will be erased and the refuse will be used elsewhere. So that's Charlie,
if I can respond, yeah, so, we don't have anything definitively, but we have shared with the, development, office, renderings and conceptual of actually having housing and stuff in that area, beyond more than just the building. So we take the responsibility of this very seriously. And we are, when we say palletize the brick, it means they actually stack the brick in pallets and put it aside. So we are planning on reusing it. I just don't want to like make things up and say, oh, we're going to use it for this or that. So for example, if we put housing, it may not be right in that very spot. It may be, across the street, but we're looking to use that brick and preserve the historic significance as best we can, pay homage to it. So it's not a, you know, it's not a feint, like just, try, it's very sincere and real.
So I'll make a comment that from what I could see in the photographs and from the structural engineer's reports, that this building is a danger to the public. That's the real problem. And if we let it continue to rot from the inside, then the face brick and some of that architectural cornice work will also take a beating. So it makes some sense to try to save at least that before that takes any further beating. It's very sad that the city allowed it to deteriorate this, but it had it in its hand all these years. That's a problem. That's my feeling. Anyone else? Then I'm open to motion regarding the request for the vote.
So I make a motion that we waive the 9-month demo delay on 35 Lyman Street as stated on the application.
You have a second?
No second.
Second by Schubert. Further discussion? I'll take a vote. Vincent Walsh,
Yes.
Deanna Nesport,
No.
Kevin Coffey,
Yes.
Walter Crowe,
Yes.
Alan Hardy, yes.
Just, we will, our salvage people will look and see what.
Thank you, appreciate it. Thank you.
We're gonna move to our next section on the agenda, one respectful reviews. 271 Peru Street, replacement of telecommunications equipment.
We don't really have anyone to present on this one. It's. This is I know this one is completely different. This is all interior work. It's a section 106 review. So, I don't think there's really too much to present. There's time if you want them to come back next meeting, but. They gave me a synopsis, basically. The project is an upgrade that will involve the in-kind replacement of telecommunications equipment on the interior of the building. The project will take place largely within the second floor mechanical room and will not involve any ground disturbance. Will be put with equipment replacement or included in the provided site plan as what you see. So.
Yeah, I taking a look at the documentation, it appeared to me that there was nothing to touch the historical structure. They're just replacing equipment on 2 racks that are already in place.
Yeah.
So it strikes me as
Any kind of replacement.
yeah. I appreciate them asking for a 106 review, but they're not doing anything that does anything to the fabric of the building.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
Would it be non?
I don't actually know the intricacies of section 106, which is something I should probably learn, but, I threw it in here because, I figured it would be a fast item. We could just move it.
The report is usually no negative impact.
Yeah, yeah.
So if there's no negative impact, then there's no negative impact.
Yeah, and I have a draft. I have a draft motion, it'd be good, and then I can send them off a letter saying it's not an issue. Okay.
Right, so do I have a motion to that effect?
Yes, I'm going.
Okay, one second.
Second.
You. I'm gonna take a vote down, Hardy is yes, Walter Crowe,
Yes.
Vincent Walsh. Vincent Walsh.
Yes, sir. Sorry.
You,
He said yes.
yes, okay, thank you. Dan Isport,
Yes.
and Kevin Club.
Yes.
Who did you vote?
Thank you.
Okay, we're gonna continue down, if I may, section 7. PPA related requests, historic determinations. State Street, exterior restoration.
Hello, John Mullet, Director of Facilities, so 554 Main Street, Seniors. Connecticut. Representing the Springfield Museums.
That's, remedy, right?
Yeah, so the request overview, the request is seeking a determination that the George Walter Vincent Smith Museum is a historic resource.
Right. We're looking, the request, it's a historic preservation grant to preserve the exterior of the George Walter Vincent Smith Museum, an Italian piazza style building constructed in 1896, Springfield's first museum and one of the oldest art museums in the country. The historic preservation project will focus on 4 components: repointing the mortar gaps between the bricks, repairing and repainting the wood trim, replacing the cracked terracotta roof tiles, and restoring cracked balustrades. Each one of these components has been indicated in a recent complete reserve study and is nearing the end of its useful life.
Let's repair job. Any other questions from commissioners? You know the building pretty well. Yeah, I would say it's significant to say so, and it's probably even more historically significant than that's, yeah.
I have a question. Yes, so on all of these, the request is for a letter of support for the renovation project, but shouldn't we be reviewing what's being proposed?
It's a determination, and then, from last meeting, our discussion was that we're also gonna issue a letter of support. So, I had the review standard on page 5 and.
No, I understand.
Yeah.
The question of whether it's a historic property or not. This is in a historic district and it's been already listed as a historic property. So that seems to me to be a moot question. There is no debate there.
Yeah.
The question is whether or not the renovation to the building fits within the parameters of historic preservation.
Or that there's no negative impact.
Or that there's no negative impact.
And I imagine the Community Preservation Committee wouldn't move forward with a project that was going to have a negative impact as well.
But doesn't our letter suggest that we?
Yeah, I mean, the Historic Commission could say, the proposal is gonna have a negative impact in the committee, the CPC will take that into consideration as well.
Very good, thank you for the clarification.
So I think what I've heard in this particular structure is the repairing roof tiles again.
Yep, repairing roof tiles, repointing the exterior, repairing and painting the wood trim around the windows. And the balustrades, which the concrete turned.
So those are all the match. There's no change.
There's no change.
And the door, the steel.
That is, the steel door is the next one for the Museum of Fine Arts.
Right, so we need a motion, we need a motion on this building first. As to whether we determine that.
And I make a motion that we find the George Walter Vincent Smith Museum a historic resource and issue letters.
Have a second?
Second.
Thank you. Further discussion on that building? We'll take a vote. Kevin Coffey?
Yes.
Dan Isport?
Yes.
Vincent Walsh?
Yes.
Marty, yes. Walter Clark? Yes.
The next is 49 Chestnut Street. Is you're here for that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The Dewey Museum of Fine Arts, the Springfield Museum is requesting a historic preservation grant to perform replacement of 2 doorways on the Chestnut Street side of Kingdom Bay with in-kind steel sash work to maintain the traditional aesthetic of the building while upgrading performance and efficiency to modern standards. Since 2022, over $1.4 million have been invested into the preservation of the Museum of Fine Arts. This includes 3 awards from the CDC addressing the front door restoration with in-kind replacements of 3 sides of the building. This also includes awards from the Mass Mutual Council and Mass Development via the Peabody Charitable Fund and replacement of the roof.
So I understand that you're replacing these doors
with in-kind replacements. Yes, it's 30.
with the same number of lights,
Exactly.
same colors, the whole deal.
They'll be black instead of the maroon to match the exterior windows of the already replaced. Hopefully they'll-
Will the doors have the lights up?
Yeah, it's the same transom, the exact same, they're the same. Yes, there's a sister to it on the other side, so there's 2 doorways.
Right. Yeah, I went and took a look at them yesterday to see what the condition of those doors was.
Thank you.
They're in very good condition. So my question is, why are you replacing them? They're wooden doors. And design guidelines for exterior architectural features for that historic district specifically says that doors should be deep toned wood finishes or can be painted matte black. Original, you know. If the original door is unsalvageable, its replacement must be paneled wood or be of the same proportions. Now, from my visual inspection, they don't appear to be in, they're not in bad shape at all. So I guess I have a question as to why would you replace them? But if you were going to repair them, if there was something defective about the doors as they exist, why wouldn't you just repair them as they are? It does appear that the lights in these doors have been replaced with insulated glass at some point in the past. So they're already insulated. They're wood, which is a better, less of an efficient conductor of heat and cold than steel would be. So why not just refresh them?
Well, I mean, part of that was for the security, otherwise to match. We just really get up to the door and open and operate them. They do let quite a bit of inefficiency through the door. They may appear to be in good condition from the outside, but when you do operate the doors the way they're opening on the top, they do have quite a bit of draft. And we use those doors for shipping entrance, so the opening of the doors outside, we need to move very large objects through collection pieces. It needs to be extremely secure.
Right.
When we go through these doors, you're entering places where we have very high valued objects.
Right.
Changing these wood doors to the same material that would have been manufactured during the period that we did for the windows seemed to be a good aesthetic balance.
They're metal insulated.
That's correct. Yeah, they're very efficient. So they're made by Hopes, which would have been which would have been the original manufacturer of the windows at that time. The same ones that were used.
But these are the original doors.
I don't believe those are the actual original doors, to be honest. I've talked to several people that those are not the original doors. I can't find. They were remanufactured and to look exactly the same, but I don't believe those are actually used.
Oh.
Commissioner Walsh, first questions?
No questions.
Thank you. Anyone else?
You're gonna do those doors.
Well,
When you take them out.
Like I said, I don't believe those are the true original doors. I think they were remanufactured to look like that at some point. Gentleman that works for me has been there for 40 years. He remembers the doors being. We have pictures back that they look extremely similar, so it always makes me guess when they were done. They just were made to look exactly the same at some period.
Didn't they have a photograph of the original doors?
We do. I mean, even looking at the older photographs, they look identical, and I'm judging by someone that's been there for 40 years, remembering them being replaced. So we're just looking to do an in-kind replacement with a better product from a company that would have manufactured them at the time when the building was put together. You can see those.
The one at the bottom is.
One at the bottom, yeah. Something about the hardware when those were there to the new ones is.
Well, this will match what you did with the windows now.
Yeah, it's gonna match.
Yours are gonna match
It's gonna be a phenomenal look for the museum.
Are you gonna replace the poles?
Those are still there.
They're not on the.
They're not on the other, they're still.
No.
Right there.
No, that's a stamped metal.
Oh, yeah, those.
The poles, the door handles.
Oh, I'm sorry, I thought you were talking about the lights.
So did I, so did I, they meant the pedestals outside.
Do they have allowed us a certain allowance to match the exterior poles? We, obviously, the poles that were on the shipping door are not the original. We'll get something that's more aesthetic in time.
These doors are excellent doors, so they have anti-fireboard inside.
They do. We use them to bring large specialty pieces from private vendors and around the world through those doors.
Right, the other one is not a group entrance. Seems
Well, we use that in some ways for our front entrance for as a secondary entrance for ADA accessibility.
Yeah, because it's a.
We put a I put a sidewalk in a couple of years ago to make sure that the ADA access was up to standard in case we had an elevator with those has to be lifts and and often too. And during construction of the quadrangle door when we were restoring that, it was necessary. 2 entrances.
No, anyone else? Questions? If not, I'm open to motion.
Make a motion to find that the, or letter of support that the Memorial Museum of Fine Arts is a historic resource. It is your letter of support.
Second.
Second.
Thank you, Tim. No further discussion. Take a vote. Kevin Coffey.
Yes.
Dan Nestor. Yes. You could have said Walsh.
Yes.
Walter Coffey.
Yeah.
Walter.
Black.
Yes. Yes, I'm saying.
So moving on to.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for the thumb down.
Thank you for your patience. Moving on to 5 Sumner Avenue. Stained glass windows and fire screen.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for hearing the 2 Sumner this evening. And again, representing 52 Sumner, I'm here at Homes for Redbridge. Our application is for windows. We asked for that last year, but this year we want to also do the sprinklers. This is a 1912 building that we're trying to preserve. This would be in its essentially, I have this name of it, and I apologize for the structure. Lines and windows for the space. It would be the chancel space, which I think I gave everybody a packet that had this. This would be the, yes, that one should be page on the other side of page 3. Yes, there we go. Go up. Thank you. So this would be sprinklers for this space. So this is an interior space in the building for safety as well as for preserving the historic building in case ever there was a fire, we wouldn't want anything to happen. Also in your packet, it includes a fire sprinkler quote. Basically, it doesn't give you the actual quote because Encore will not give us a quote officially with sprinklers until they do their little prep. So that's what they even quote in here. So the sprinkler quote that you have as part of the budget is based off of Drama Studio, who actually used this company, but it was a different name at that. So I just want to let you know about that. The windows are definitely in critical condition that they need to be preserved and redone because of, unfortunately, not proper maintenance from the previous one. So we need to definitely continue that project, which we did get CPA funding last year. And I'm hopeful that we will get more this year for hopefully both projects. And this is in, of course, a local historic district, of course, Park. Yes, Anna does some amazing work at my mayor comment.
Just wondering if I don't have any ownership.
It's not a conflict, we don't feel it's a conflict, you're not some ownership.
Right. And just use the space.
We don't, yeah, you know, not investing.
We just don't wanna do anything.
We don't use.
That's true.
Vincent Walsh, questions, comments?
No questions, no comments.
Thank you, sir.
And yes, those windows that you let us sit, we freeze to death.
Yep.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. I don't think I included in the packets, but here is some lovely, fun pictures of some of these windows that really need some help.
Okay, so I'm open for motion on this.
Make a motion to find that the building at 52 Sumner Avenue is a historic resource and to issue a letter of support.
Okay, I'll take a vote on this, Walter.
Yes.
Yes. Kevin Clappy,
Yes.
Ian Esper,
Yes.
and Vincent Walsh.
Yes.
Thank you, Vincent.
So thank you, and now I'm going to put on my other hat, and I'm now part of Springfield Preservation Trust. We are applying for a CPA grant as well. Last year we applied for the stabilization one, so we came to you under that project. This year we are applying for exterior repair to the building. So that involves 9 6x6 windows, 2 6-panel wood doors, as well as painting the facade and removing any asbestos in the windows, and install new windows, installing the doors. Of course, we would do all of this with coming back to the committee with showing you what we were going to, possibly put in there. We're not going to not do that. We just unfortunately did not have those at the time that we put in the CPA application together to show you those insights of them.
Did I hear you say this is on the rear of the building?
No, it's the exterior is what I'm saying. So actually it's going to be the front. And unfortunately, I do not have a historic photo of Stockbridge on me at the moment. But they did originally have like 6x6 windows, which you can actually see in a WPA image in the building next door. So we are trying to actually restore more towards the historic character than it has been. As well as it does have a preservation restriction currently on the building too. And if this work does get done, essentially we will be done with the exterior repair, which will be lovely. Because we've already replaced the roof and we're working on stabilization and then we've been working on the masonry. Yep, 6x6 building just to the right. So it's
Questions, anyone?
No, sir.
I'm open to motion.
I make a motion, we find that the building at 7-9 Stockbridge Street is a historic resource and issue a letter of support.
In a second, please.
Second.
Second. You take a vote. Now, Narlene's yes. Vincent Walsh,
Yes.
And Esper.
Yes.
Walter Crowe.
Yes.
And Kevin Cobb.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Commissioners. I
Thank you.
really appreciate it.
We're moving down to 32 Fire Street, and the replacements, roof improvements, and facade restoration improvements. Move down and have a seat, there's your residential meeting and applicant, please, go ahead.
Sure, my name is Jamie Gruber and I'm with Wayfinder 1780 Tree in Springfield. And here to discuss, actually, there's a couple buildings here. There's 32 Byers Street, 68, 70, 76, and 84, 88 Byers Street, which is all sort of part of the same group of buildings in the renovation that we are planning.
So I want to talk specifically about Fire Street.
Okay, great.
I've got 32 Byers.
32 Byers. It was the historic Hotel Rainbow.
Yeah.
And it is currently managed by Wayfinders. And the real estate development team is putting together an application with the state for the funding to rehabilitate this affordable housing that was last rehabbed in 1995, and in the 90s it was converted to like a single room efficiency units, and it's just, you know, over the time it's kind of, you know, it needs a lot of work. It needs a lot of repointing, it needs a new roof and things like that, as well as we're going to do some interior work as well. That's not part of this application, but we recently put in a CPA application for $300,000 with the city to for this, that includes the wellness building and the other rebuilds that we'll talk about next. And the CPA actually, you know, we went through this process once earlier, I think in 2021, 22. We applied and we have those funds, and this just due to the state, how the state funding round and everything goes, get the lion's share of the funds. It just hasn't happened, but we're putting in our full application this fall, this spring, in a couple of weeks second, to apply for the entire funding. So hopefully we'll be awarded this summer. And the renovation includes a historic window replacement. There's like vinyl windows in there now that are I think they're like 15 years old or something along those lines, and they need to be replaced. But we're working with our architect Davis Square and our historic consultant. It's PAL. It's a Maury Kavanaugh, but all of these have gone through the part 1, part 2 approval. That they're, you know, significant unique or historic significant building, and then the plans have been approved by Mass Historic and National Park Service. So we have the part 1 and part 2s. Upon completion of the work, it'll be submitted to the National Park Service to be approved and part 3 approved.
So nothing is really changing exterior.
No, I mean we're doing quite a bit. A lot of the lintels and things like that. I mean, some of the upper, that's going to be repaired, you know, during the replacement of the windows. And the windows are actually like, they're a vinyl replacement window now. We have like a double pane. Like I believe it's a Pella brand, similar to what the gentleman was talking about earlier with the wood, you know, wood with the aluminum flat on the exterior and the lights to match that, the pattern that was sort of the original design.
Any questions, Commissioner Walsh?
No questions.
Make a motion that we find that the building at 32 Byron Street is a historic resource and we should want to support.
You do have a second.
Second.
Take a vote, Commissioner Walsh. Vote,
Yes.
thank you. Commissioner Nardi is yes, call to approval.
Yes.
Commissioner Coffey,
Yes.
Van and Esper.
Yes.
Thank you on that one. So you can talk to us next about 68 to 88 Fire Street.
Great. Yeah, so it's, there are 3 buildings that were, renovated by Wayfinders, formerly known as HAP back in the early 2000s. And, they're currently affordable housing that Wayfinders manages, but they too are, you know, over the time, there's certain, capital improvements and needs that these buildings can go through over time that the revenue, you know, just because it's affordable housing isn't able to keep up with, so they go through a recapitalization process, which is, that's what our funding applications is for. And, so we, as part of, you know, pulling all of our funding together, apply for the CPA funds, with from the city as well as or to help leverage the state funds that we'll be asking for. And similar will be, you know, pointing masonry, replacing all of the windows and, you know, the areas where the trim, things like that have fallen in disrepair or just, you know, need replacement to rot to preserve these buildings for, you know, another, you know, 30 or 40 years. So and kind of similar scope of work on all the buildings with the historic window replacement, and they're all in the same situation with have been approved by Mass Historic and so the project will be receiving federal historic tax credits as far as the renovation as well.
Kevin?
Yeah, I'm looking at the photograph and comparing it to this elevation. Just for my own clarification, you're not proposing to alter the mansard roof, because with your illustration here, just shows a different type of 3rd story. The first one, this is a mansard kind of thing here. And is that slate or is that some other kind of?
It looks like slate.
Yeah, it's like a slate roof with I think the upper portion that's flat is like a membrane that you can't really see because the pitch is so low.
Right.
But yeah, that's gonna
The renderings.
The rendering shows something that
The
would
rendering
like
shows
something.
it almost looks like a
State.
clapper.
That's what it is.
The slate is gonna stay.
Yes,
Right. Not changing the elevation.
correct.
And there's 2 chimneys, not 4.
Well, you just might not be able to see it in
Okay.
that.
The 2 might be rear.
Yeah,
You can't see it from that picture.
All right. Thank you.
Probably gonna be pointing those chimneys as well.
They'll, you know, kind of do a full on masonry
Yeah, they
evaluation,
do
you know, they
more
do
than
that,
that,
yeah.
Yep.
Mhm.
Then make a motion, we find that the buildings of 68 through 70, 76, 84 through 88 Byron Street are historic resources and please show letter support.
Thank you, second. Second, Dan. Take a vote, Kevin Coffey.
Yes.
Vincent Walsh.
Yes.
Minority. Dan and Esper. Yes. Walter the floor.
Yes. And just a side note, I'm your developer neighbor at 60.
Okay, all right.
These guys do a great job of all these buildings, because we're on that street now for the last 3 months straight, and the buildings look great, the facades look great, you guys take really good care of it.
Great.
It was like having not spent a ton of time on that street, now being there every day, move around, and I really enjoy all the buildings, so.
Yeah, it is, I mean, thank you. It is a beautiful street and we had gone there earlier, you know, last week with the architect.
We're getting ready to exit Ugly Duckling that's in between all you guys.
Uh-huh.
So hopefully that'll help.
Yeah, very excited about the activity there, so, all right, thank you. Nice. Thank you.
Okay, last on this section, 643 Union Street.
We approved that? Do we have a motion?
Yes.
I'm sorry.
Thanks. Yeah, so, they might be on. They preliminary, yes, Trish T. Smith. Who will be presenting for the Congregational Church. There she is.
Hello, everyone.
Hello, Trish.
And I have also on Carolyn Ware. She can speak for herself, but yeah. She is the Director of Operations and Finance at St. John's Congregational Church. So the best way to present this, you can move to the next slide, please. I just wanted to show the location, 2 buildings, the church, which we call our Legacy Historic Building, and next door to it is our DeBerry Building, which we use as our food pantry. And this proposal is for both buildings, but I'll explain that as we move along in this presentation. We are already listed on the National Register of Historic Places, but I just wanted to make that note. We're not locally, it's a national registration. We have our contractors selected. Adam Quenneville and Stained Glass Resources. And so this project, I thought it would be better to explain it, whereas it was already granted funds in 2024 under the community preservation. And that was just for the church itself. We installed a new roof. Well, the scope itself included installing a new roof, gutter and gutter guards, the exterior work. And then after it was reviewed by the preservation consultant, there was things added, which was restoring the doors, the porches, repairing the brick and stained glass, glazing of the front windows. So the next slide, and I just thought that was important to note. All of that was completed up until at least the roof was installed, the exterior siding was completed, the brick was repointed, the stained glass glazing was done, but we're waiting. The weather changed and winters set in, and so now we're just waiting to finish with installing new gutters and finishing the doors. We're restoring the doors and side porches and painting the railings. So that's phase 1. This application, so that gives you, these are 2, as you can see on the left side, what the exterior looked like prior to preserving the building. And then the right side shows that portion was completed of our application. And then next slide, that's a side version. I also wanted to show you that what the roof looked like, slate roof, and then the side, Union Street side of the building. This was important to show because, St. John's invested money into this part of it, the project that we didn't originally think we had to invest in, but based on what the preservation consultant asked us to do, we went ahead and did it. And we just wanted to show you how that exterior looked with the doors on the left, and then what the end result looks like. So this all shows the stained glass windows. This is part of our ask for the funding. And this actually shows the glazing of the windows. And actually, I just wanted to show the beautification and the architecture of those windows. That is the reason we're asking for the money, is to restore all of the stained glass windows within the church. And this just gives you a real close-up of the advanced stages of deterioration of those windows and why we're looking to restore. You can move on. Just wanted to show you the interior of those windows and the beauty of that architecture. Next slide. And I think I counted 32 windows to be restored. So just wanted to show you the map of what we're asking for. So it's both buildings. The church itself, in order to finish up, would be asking for funding for restoring and repairing the windows. The food pantry next door is where needs a new roof. We need to install gutters and gutter guards, a complete exterior preservation of that building, the porches to resurface, replace, repoint the brick, and restore the doors. So I had some photos that might be coming up next of what that looks like. So that's a picture of the DeBerry Hall, but we call it where we are servicing our food pantry. And then there's some side photos so you can see the extent of the work that needs to be completed in the back porch that needs to, the decking that needs to be replaced and the railings that needs to be worked on, and the door that needs to be restored, I should say. So the next so many slides will show you the condition of the roof that needs to be replaced. And you can keep moving to show those, yeah. The roof is in really bad condition. And so the top portion of that just shows the budget of what we've already invested. The bottom is what we're asking, the $300,000, and then the church itself will invest as well, and combined it'd be a $850,000 project with the two phases combined together. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. Commissioners, any other questions?
No questions.
Into the motion.
Okay, we make a motion, we find the building at 643 Union Street, a historic resource, and issue a letter of support.
Second. Well, taking the vote, Walter Crowe.
Yes.
Vincent Walsh,
Yes.
Kevin Cobb,
Yes.
and Nesbitt.
Yes.
Thank you very much for your description. Appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time.
Hang on.
Thank you.
Okay, so now we're at the section eight. Good night. Good night. Good night. Thank you.
You leave.
On our job.
Nice.
So we're here at the administrative updates.
So 59 Ingersoll Grove was repaired today, list on the side. 37 George Street, I'm gonna issue tomorrow. That is the house that burned. Yep. And it's gonna be non-applicability. It's gonna be fully restored. The windows have been reviewed by the DPC. There are gonna be no issue. It's gonna be the same exact windows. So I'm gonna be issuing that tomorrow. It's kind of a big non-applicability, but you know, that it was vetted for PVPC and it looks like it's in good shape. So that's the the biggest item. I reissued some letters of support for CPA related projects that were the same projects as last year. I suspect they didn't get the approval last year, so they're reapplying. That's really all that I have. When I get back into the office towards the middle of March, late March, I have some violations I'm gonna issue, so.
Any correspondence?
Nothing, no correspondence.
Never quorum call. That's for the 19th.
That's for the 19th, yes.
We will not be here.
I think we plan that I'm not here, but there's not elections tonight. So I think Phil will be filling in if I'm not available. So,
I can be here. Yeah, especially go over, so.
Vincent Walsh, might you be here on the 19th?
I am likely to be here on the 19th. Same place I am right now.
God bless America.
God bless you.
I'll be back in April though.
Yeah, but you're looking too tan, so cut it out.
Not tan enough.
Kevin, will be here.
I think I will be.
We need you to go on.
Not sure. That's a strong meeting.
This
goes very smart meeting.
Let's have the public speak out. Is there anyone here?
Harry, no Harry tonight, sorry.
Oh, Harry's done. Harry's done.
He's done.
Yeah.
He said the other guy's here.
He said specifically, fine, thank you.
Yeah.
Sure he did.
He
He would
did.
allow me a cookie.
We ate it.
Oh, okay.
It was good.
Well, I miss him. God, that's good. All right, well, good. God bless.
Yeah, that's it.
Hey, if there's nothing else, I'd make a.
So I'll take a motion to adjourn.
Adjourn.
Second.
Aye.
Aye.
All right.
Aye.
Counselor Shuchuk, thank you.